You're sitting alone in a park on a quiet afternoon when someone takes the empty bench beside you. She has skin as pale as fresh snow. Her curly silver hair catches the sunlight, and her striking blue eyes seem almost unreal. Curious, you introduce yourself and ask her name. Abarash, she replies with a smile. She tells you she's from a small tribe in sub-Saharan Africa. At first, your brain struggles to make sense of what you're hearing. Then it clicks. She is a black African woman with albinism. You spend the afternoon talking. She's witty, thoughtful, and effortlessly intelligent. Before leaving, you ask for her number. She takes your phone with her left hand, types it in, and hands it back. One date turns into another, then another. Somewhere along the way, you fall in love. Just as she says yes to becoming your girlfriend, your alarm clock goes off. You wake up staring at the ceiling, heart pounding. It was only a dream, but one question refuses to leave your mind. Could someone like her actually exist? The answer is yes, but asking that question leads to an even more fascinating one. Out of more than 8 billion people alive today, what would the rarest possible human actually look like? To find out, we'll build that person one trait at a time. Let's begin with Ancestry. Although humanity consists of roughly 8 billion individuals, we're divided into around 7,000 distinct ethnic groups. Most people belong to relatively large populations. The Han Chinese alone make up nearly 18% of the world's population, well over 1 billion people. At the opposite end are tiny communities whose populations are measured in the hundreds or even dozens. The Sentinelese of North Sentinel Island are believed to number only a few hundred people. The uncontacted Kawahiva people of the Brazilian Amazon are thought to consist of only a few dozen individuals. Australia's Spinifex people are another example of a remarkably small surviving indigenous population. For our thought experiment, let's choose someone from an ethnic group containing roughly 500 members. Among 8 billion people, that alone would already make their ancestry extraordinarily uncommon. Now let's add another rare characteristic. Our person has albinism. Albinism is an inherited genetic condition that reduces or completely prevents the body from producing melanin, the pigment responsible for coloring our skin, hair, and eyes. Without normal melanin production, people with albinism often have very light skin, white or silver hair, and pale blue, gray, or sometimes pinkish-looking eyes caused by the way light reflects inside the eye. Worldwide, albinism occurs in approximately 1 out of every 20,000 people, although the frequency varies considerably between different populations. Already, we're describing someone exceptionally unusual. Next comes one of the most recognizable features of the face, the eyes. Many people believe green eyes are the rarest eye color. They're not. One of the rarest naturally occurring eye conditions is complete heterochromia, where each eye develops a completely different color. For example, one blue eye and one brown eye. This happens because different amounts of melanin are deposited in each iris during development. For most people, it's completely harmless and affects only appearance. Complete heterochromia is estimated to occur in roughly 6 out of every 10,000 people. Now let's make our rarest person left-handed. About 90% of humans naturally favor their right hand, leaving only around 10% who are left-handed. Scientists still don't fully understand why. Genetics clearly play a role, but no single left-handed gene has ever been discovered. Brain development, prenatal factors, and chance all appear to contribute. Even identical twins don't always share the same handedness. Interestingly, many cultures throughout history actively discouraged left-handed children from using their dominant hand, meaning the true natural rate may once have been slightly underestimated. So far, we've combined an exceptionally small ancestry, albinism, complete heterochromia, and left-handedness. Already, we're imagining someone almost nobody has ever met. But we're only getting started. Most humans perceive color using 3 different types of cone cells inside the retina. Together, these receptors allow us to distinguish roughly 1 million different colors. A tiny number of people may possess a 4th functioning cone cell. This condition is known as tetrachromacy. With 4 types of color receptors, some tetrachromats may be capable of distinguishing tens of millions of additional shades that most people literally cannot see. The fascinating part is that tetrachromacy is almost entirely limited to women because the genes involved are carried on the X chromosome. Many women inherit the necessary genetic variation, but only a very small percentage appear to develop fully functional tetrachromatic vision. Researchers estimate that functional tetrachromacy may occur in roughly 1 out of every 40,000 women. Now let's give our person one final extraordinary ability, an almost unbelievable memory. The condition is called highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM, commonly known as hyperthymesia. People with HSAM can recall astonishing details from nearly every day of their lives, not just birthdays or graduations, but ordinary Tuesdays years ago. They can often remember what they ate, what the weather was like, what conversations they had, and even what day of the week a particular date fell on. The condition first attracted scientific attention after Jill Price contacted neuroscientist James McGaw, explaining that she could not stop remembering her past. For her, memories weren't occasional flashbacks. They were a constant stream replaying every day of her life. Only a tiny number of confirmed cases have ever been documented, making HSAM one of the rarest known memory traits. Now take a step back and look at the person we've created. Someone from one of the world's smallest ethnic populations, a woman with albinism, complete heterochromia, left-handed, possibly able to perceive millions of additional colors, and blessed, or perhaps burdened, with an almost perfect autobiographical memory. Could someone exactly matching every one of these traits exist? In theory, yes. In reality, calculating the traits aren't completely independent. Genetics, ancestry, biology, and environment all influence one another in ways scientists are still working to understand. But that's actually the most interesting part. Every person is a combination of thousands of inherited traits, random genetic events, environmental influences, and pure chance. The number of possible combinations is so unimaginably large that it's effectively impossible for another person to be exactly like you. Even identical twins, who begin life with nearly identical DNA, develop differences throughout their lives. So perhaps asking who the rarest person on Earth is misses the bigger picture, statistically extraordinary in their own unique way. Among more than 8 billion people, there has never been another version of you, and there almost certainly never will be. So yes, there may be plenty of fish in the sea, but there has never been, and will never be, another fish exactly like you.